Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Toronto Mounties and the Oakland Raiders. The shadows starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And he'll be brought down here as the penalty flags come in right away, and we may have a face mask here right at the start. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused.
Must have.
It had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
And they'll run it here. And he'll be limited into a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
First carry for Derrick Henry. Breaks through the contact. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. It's a big run there by Henry. 41 yards. And we were down on the field watching Henry warm up before the game. He's a big man. No wonder he breaks those tackles.
And you remember what I told you when we were watching? It's not all pads. I mean, you get him out of pads and just see him in a regular suit or an outfit. He is a huge human being and a lot faster than what people know. When he gets rolling, he's a lot to bring down.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
He had a good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Now let's go!
On 2nd down, here's Miller. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll drop to throw. And he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Detroit! Detroit!
A first down carry for Henry. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal. The impressive opening drive continues and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
Detroit! Detroit!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. Sterling Shepard, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead. With these Thursday night games, sometimes you get those quick turnarounds. You wonder how a team's going to start. They started really well.
Everyone's always wondering, going into a Thursday night game, who has their legs, who has the overall health of a team. But mentally, if you get that early edge, the other team might think to itself, it's been a short week. We're not really ready to go. You might run them into the ground that way. That's why getting that early score means a lot.
First carry now for Kenneth Dixon. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up. One thing we do know He's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
On third down, Osweiler. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended.
A big seam, and he might go all the way. And touchdown! Corey Grant, his first touchdown on the year. And his guys get the quick strike touchdown. Well, a lot of things have to go right for an option pitch to be successful. Everything lined up there on the long run.
It does, because you have to make the proper read. It doesn't matter what guy you've decided is going to be read on the defensive front. You still have to execute it. If he comes to the quarterback, you saw there, pitch it out to the running back, and off he goes. A lot of teams don't like to run the option because they don't like having their quarterback hit.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Here's Osweiler to throw. Going deep here for Watkins. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd. And this passing game, this whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Robert Alford. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
All right, here we go.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Back to throw here. This one complete to Devin Funchess. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Set! Blue 90!
Now a handoff to Henry. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Here we go now.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1.
Now, that was a big run. It takes them all the way down to the 1-yard line, and that'll shake the confidence of any defense. So when they're looking for a little bit of support now, looking at their defensive coordinator, if I'm him, I dial up some pressure. I just go after them because otherwise you're still playing back on your heels, and that's not going to help your defense at all.
They'll look to throw, and it's caught. Touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and his guys are going to add on to their lead.
Well, Brandon, if we go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator, he showed us his script. Didn't show us everything now. He said, here's the script for the game. I think everything's going according to plan in a big way. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's about as good. That is as good as you can do, I guess. So, well done.
Yeah, well done indeed. Tremendous execution.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out and some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a second and 11.
Patriot! Gun!
Now Osweiler on second down. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. A big play that time for the Raiders. 46 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. On 1st down, they go with Dixon. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. The safety, Rashad Jones, brings him down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
A dump off for Dixon. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Now it's Osweiler. He may try and run for this. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
From the red zone now, here's Osweiler on 1st down. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Will Tye, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Raiders get a score closer.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
Extra point good by Hopkins, and they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Jakeem Grant now to return. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And here now the offense heading back out there. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it could be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Lucky 56. Everyone's got four down.
They begin with Henry. Finding some room at midfield. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. All told, it's an even 30 and a 1st down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
We got three, fellas, we got three.
They keep it with Henry on first down, and not much running room. Down to the 32. A gain of 3, second down. You talked about the need for them to establish the run early. They've been able to do that here in the first half.
And that means that the whole offense has adopted that attitude and that persona. We're going to take care of this young quarterback. Let's all get together and run it and take the pressure off.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. His throw caught at about the 5. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. Calvin Ridley with touchdown number 7 on the year. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
Have 3 touchdown passes. You're right, he looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minutes. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage.
All right, now look at 56.
Officially no
Look
gain
at
on the
56.
play, and it's second down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And that's incomplete. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas, and it's third down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. To throw is Osweiler. He's got his tight end over the middle, O.J. Howard. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll kick it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at the 18. A great return there of 22 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now this offense about ready to take over again. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90. Defense wins championships, baby. We got it. We got it. We got it. 57's the mic.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And a short gain down to about the 33. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Keep playing hard, fellas, all day. Woo! Let's get
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for third down.
Hurry up, here we go. 319. 319.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a fourth down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this third down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football. They just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and that will extend the lead out to 24. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on second down.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
A minute 59 to go in the first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. On second down, it's Dixon. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Given 10 yards on the pickup, and they'll be faced with a third and inches. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Throwing, Osweiler. He can run for it, and he will. Give him 12 yards that time at an Oakland first down.
Now that definitely hurts because the mindset is getting a 3 and out there, and they don't get it done. They give up the scramble and a pickup for a first down.
Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to find O.J. Howard. That'll bring up second down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Now Osweiler. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Kenneth Dixon, the running back, the intended target. And it's third down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. The Raiders on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Osweiler. And Thomas has it. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Throwing now, Osweiler on first down. Oh, it floated on him, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. The 40. He's at the 30. And he will have a touchdown. That pick six extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the third quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. This is fielded at the goal line. Wow, evasive.
Make them miss.
And it'll be a terrific return here as he gets it down all the way inside the 30.
Forget the idea of flipping the field. They have now put themselves in a position to score points with that big-time return.
Back to the air, Osweiler after the pick six. Can't find anyone, and down he goes. goes. Osweiler sacked. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great.
And he's going to go down again.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
3rd and long. It's Osweiler. And the pressure gets to him again.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Final play of the half. It's Osweiler. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it up. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. He was trying to hit Thomas that time. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirt.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. 3 down. Set! 3-19! 3-19!
On 2nd down, here's Henry. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. 2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19! 3-19!
On 3rd down, Henry. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
He's had a big game tonight, and while no one's going to be overly concerned about that last play, you also know that the offense coordinator does not want to see that happen again. They want to get back to doing what they've been doing all game long.
He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. They'll run here with John Kelly. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Barney! Gun!
2nd and 10 now. Osweiler. And an alley to run. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. The offense on third down tonight, 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're looking at third and a few inches. Now Osweiler. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
First times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. The offense on third down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19. All day. Kill.
Again to Henry. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here's Drew Kaiser now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. There to stop him was Carlton Davis.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And that is incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to... And how about this, a fake? And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. Well, not only did they try to fake it, they put the ball in the arm of their punter, and it didn't work out.
Not the quarterback.
No.
The punter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
risky.
And it's so funny because when it works, genius. When it doesn't work, not so smart.
Not so genius.
In this case, not so genius, but I do admire that he went for it.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And the busy night for Henry continues. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2. trying to run for the first with Henry. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point's not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Hurry up, here we go. 3:19. 3:19.
They'll start the drive with Dixon. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24.
All right, now look
It's
at
a
56.
loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Osweiler now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. First and 10.
3:19.
From midfield now, here's Osweiler. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Big O.J. Howard, his intended target. And that'll bring up second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
On the give, this is Dixon. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
From the gun on 3rd down, Osweiler. Looking left side for Watkins, and he's got him. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. Here we go. It's Osweiler on 4th down. Over the middle, he's got Watkins. And unable to break away, they stop him a few yards shy. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And as a result, possession switches hands. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey, you got 3. You got 3.
A handoff running left, Henry. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
That's it, baby.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Double tight. 3 down. Hey, set. 3:19. 3:19.
Again, it's Henry. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11.
You got 4. Now let's go. 3:19. 3:19.
A 20th carry now for Derrick Henry. And he'll get nothing out of that one. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from tilting the rock that much.
Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now.
Single receiver.
They'll throw on first down with Osweiler, and he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Tight right. Hey.
Flacco looking for his first toss. Under pressure, and Flacco's going to be dropped. Jonathan Allen breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. It got his man complete. On third down, that is a big-time play for the Raiders. 56 yards. They've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. 2nd and 10. Flacco once more. He's going to look deep for Watkins. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Flacco looks to throw, and he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night. Not only was that a terrific play, but that loss of yardage they created this close to their own goal line, that gives them a little breathing room now as they move them back.
And they're breathing fire a little bit right now, aren't they?
A lot of confidence being shown by them at this point of the game.
Here's Dustin Hopkins now to try the field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And it's a fake. He's going to throw it. And this one will not work out. It is incomplete. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work.
I'm just going to go ahead and call it, partner. You could smell the desperation in that fake, couldn't you? Down big. They had to try something. No one was fooled.
I think you're exactly right. With this deficit, though, go ahead and give it a shot. Didn't work out. In the end, I guess it doesn't hurt him too much. Derrick Henry. And he's going to be taken down here at about the 10. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
3-19.
This is Henry, and not much there at all as he'll get this only up to about the 11. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down and 6.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning.
All right, here we go.
Let's see if they do it anyway. On 3rd down, it's Henry. And Henry's hit. He lost the football. Here's Drew Kaiser now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Take it at the 37. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. An incomplete pass on second down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, Flacco. Over the middle, that's caught by QT. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Wide open receiver complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. A red zone first down for Flacco. And he's got it. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Hopkins with the extra point, and the lead drops from 34 down to 27. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now this offense ready to head back out there. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
We got three, fellas, we got three. Mike, 55. Check, 55, Mike. I'm here all day.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do any. As they get a little extra.